Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Pumps. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a good Sunday so far, before we all get back to the grind tomorrow on Monday. Um, I've just a bit of update on some KRC-20 and Kaspa news. And if you'd like to keep up to date, please give me a subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell if you want to get notifications whenever I get a video out. It would help the channel, it would help me, and appreciate it. Thank you. But before we go, I found this one very interesting. So basically, it's a new project that's coming out. It's called KNS.CAS. Today we are excited to introduce Kaspa Name Service (KNS), your gateway to easy transactions on Kaspa. Stay tuned for updates on how we're transforming the Kaspa ecosystem. So how this works is, if you remember DNS, domain name server, so people would have had to type in your address bar, the IP address of say Google, which was, let's say it was 89.123.14.3, but then they came out with DNS, which converted that to a name. So you could put in google.com, which is far easier to remember. And that's what that is. So on this one, let's say I have my MEXC account open here. So from a business stand, let's say we heard the interview on the KIA, the Kaspa Industrial Initiative. So let's say they want a large scale, they want to adopt Kaspa to use for transactions, cross-border transactions. So this would be very handy for them. So at the moment, when we send and receive Kaspa, we can see the transaction and the transaction ID, and we can see the withdrawal and the withdrawal address where you're sending it. But at the moment, it's just a big long. It's Kaspa at the start, and it's a long line of numbers and letters, which is very hard to follow. But can you imagine if that was changed to a name? So let's say, like especially on companies, let's say PayPal or the DII or Shell or top any of these petrol stations, garages, energy companies that want to transact and use Caspa, that they would have their company name there instead of an address. It would be so easier. It's so much easier for companies to follow and track who's paid what. So that's the point in that. It's a smart idea, and hopefully it runs true. Um, Where's it gone? Sorry, we had Bit Mystic here. He asked him a few questions, and basically it just like he was asking them about they don't have a Telegram, they don't have a Discord, they don't have a website yet. So he says regarding they answered back to him regarding communication channels. The website is a work in progress, and the Telegram will launch after the website. As for the Discord, we do not want to set up too many communication channels to complicate our focus at the moment. And the rest is blah blah blah. So basically, they are going to create a website and a Telegram and a Discord. So keep an eye on that because it's very interesting, especially for adoption for businesses, and it would make it a lot easier to track where your Casper is coming from. Other news: KRC-20. So Casper released this. The work to future-proof the mempool and make it ready for higher transaction volumes has been completed. In addition, wallets can now respond to dynamic and evolving fee market with the new RBF and fee estimations API, empowering end users to control their transaction inclusion speed. A new release candidate will be created that includes these charges. If you are a wallet developer, please be aware of these changes and integrate them into your wallet. As this is a new release rolls out, the Rusty Casper crew will continue to make progress towards 10 blocks per second relayed. So, yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know I know what all that means, but I know this is all to help with KRC-20. This guy, Chris Kang, he's one of the developers for Casplex. He has, with the upcoming release of RBF and fee estimation, API large-scale final testing of KRC-20 is about to begin. So final testing is about to begin. And he has down, somebody has, how long will the testing period be if all goes well? And Chris has, if all goes well, the wallet, it will only take a few days. So hopefully they'll have their testing done in a few days. So there's still a small chance that KRC-20 might get launched before the end of August, which I'd hope for, or else it's going to be September. Oan ONeal, he has posted a couple of things as well. I've talked about Oan ONeal before. If you don't know who Oan ONeal is, I'll just go through it quickly. So he is a member of the KEF. He is actually, I'll show you this here first. So Oan he's a member of the board of directors on Ice River. And you can see well, it doesn't say it there, but Ice River is one of the members of the KEF, and he is also the CEO of CoinPal, and CoinPal is one of the members of the KEF also. So he's high up in two of the members of the KEF. So he's worth a follow to learn what's going on with this man. But Oisin has up in the closed beta on testnet 10, Casplex is running at 500 operations per second. Will be fully compatible with Kaspa mainnet. Now, like yourself, I didn't know what that meant, but somebody asked a question and he answered it. So basic operation. In basic operations, we provide three functions: deploy, mint, and transfer. We know what they are. So if you were a new token and you want to deploy on the mainnet, you'll be deploying and you'll be charged 1,000 CAS. And then you have mint. That's what we're all waiting to do. We all want to mint some KRC-20 tokens. And then transfer. So send and receive your Kaspa or your KRC-20 tokens. So the KRC-20 balance state can be determined by aggregating the activities of all these functions together. Notes: each operation consists of two transactions: commit, reveal, and must comply with KIP 9 specifications to avoid failure. Now this is what wasn't done last time by Cashware and whoever else, and that's what kind of brought it to a halt last time. That's Oisin's profile there. KDX also are doing some testing. So KDX is going to be bringing a swap, a kind of a marketplace or a DEX, whatever you want to call it, where when we have all our tokens minted, we'll be able to swap them. So this is one of the places where we'll be able to do it. So KDX bringing DeFi to Kaspa. So we've been testing on testnet 10 for the last week. Huge thanks to Cashware Wallet for the support and helping us get set up on closed testnet 10. Swap code successfully pulling feeds of all tokens and supplies deployed on KRC-20 testnet 10. Pools and liquidity, core logic for pool calculation and creation tested, spot fixes and styling in progress, nodes and public test imminent. So these are going to start testing on mainnet to see how it goes with the public, which is a good idea. It's basically a beta again to test it out. But you can see they're all testing on testnet 10, whereas I said before, the first time all the testing for KRC-20 was done on testnet 11, which is 10 blocks per second, but the mainnet runs on 1 block per second. So this is good how they're testing on testnet 10, which is 1 block per second, which is the same as what it's going to be launched on. So that is really good. And then just to finish off, you should know this man now. So Paul Van Son. So we had Rory ONeil talking from the Kaspa Industrial Initiative. I heard an interview I had on the last, well, it wasn't my interview. He was talking on an X Space, and I had highlights up of it in the last video. So he's one of the guys behind promoting Kaspa. They're going to be using it. They want to use it for cross-border payments. They want stable coins over Kaspa. They want a lot of stuff to use it for business. Basically, another highlight out of the last video was there's big companies out there that are using ETH to transfer billions in in funds, cross-border payments, but the gas fees are costing them tens of millions. So Rory ONeil went and had a meeting with one of these companies and told them about CAS and how they would save tens of millions on gas fees if they switched to CAS. So that's very bullish for Kaspa and adoption. So Kaspa is well positioned to become a pivotal cornerstone for the industries like clean energy and related carbon emissions reduction markets. So Kaspa is well positioned to become a pivotal cornerstone for reduction, and that's just what I read. So quote of the day, that's from the man. So these guys are really pushing Kaspa. So the future is bright for Kaspa, and it looks like KRC-20s could roll out before the end of the month. Fingers crossed. If not, it's very early September. But that's all the news that I have for you. So hope you found it helpful, and please leave a like if you did, and I will talk to you again. I'll see you again.